I'm Paula Radcliffe, and it is a pleasure to be back here in Dubai with this amazing weather, stunning scenery and skyline behind me, and looking forward to the 2025 Dubai Marathon. On the women's side, previous champion and third place last year, Dera Dida of Ethiopia leads the field. On the men's side, we have some big names coming here. Dennis Kimetto, former world record holder over the marathon, Elisa De Cisa, and a whole group of other men looking to make their mark on marathon racing as the 2025 season kicks off.
For years of prouding being part of the world and being a marathon hub, and Dubai now is the destination of the marathon. We'd like to thank all efforts has been shown since day one until now, and for sure all together we'll work to make this marathon even better and better in coming years, inshallah.
I've come here for the Dubai Marathon just for fun.
I'm here in Dubai. I'm going to run the marathon.
We came here for the marathon. It's very exciting, and we hope we will finish the marathon well.
Hello, my name is Paula, her name is Roberta, and we are from Italy. And for us, it's the first marathon.
I'm an engineer in Japan, and it's my first time to run Dubai Marathon. I'm happy to come here. I do my best.
It's my first marathon. Hopefully I will manage it. Just wish me some luck.
Promises to be a fabulous day's racing. Superb elite fields gathered together again, mostly East African, of course, Ethiopian and Kenyan, chasing fast times and big prize money here in the fabulous city of Dubai. Paula, so much to look forward to these next couple of hours.
Absolutely, and the athletes are raring to go, all fired up and ready to kick off 2025 with some fast performances here in Dubai, as we've seen previously.
As you can see, the race kicks off at 6 a.m, so in about 11 minutes time, local time, and then the mass race with thousands, and that goes off at 7 a.m, 1 hour after the elite.
And should we take a quick look at the course, Tim? I think you had a wander around it, didn't you, to see what it looks like out there. Very fast course, very few turns, right?
I did indeed, yes. This is Sakim Street, where the marathon starts, actually about 50 metres behind the camera you're seeing me from. This is the first few hundred metres down to the left-hand turn by the coast, where they head out on the long straights, which are brilliant for marathon running. They get into a nice rhythm there. The energy here right now, of course, is all about traffic. It's Friday afternoon. On race morning, as you're going to watch in a few minutes' time, the energy will come from the athletes, a very different kind of energy. This is the most northern point of the course on Jumeirah Beach Road. The athletes will have come from the south up to this junction, up to these lights, where they'll do a big sweeping right-hand U-turn and head back down south again. They pass here at about 19.5 kilometres and about 34 kilometres. So it's a point from which the second time they negotiate this junction, they're effectively on the finishing straight. But for me, this is where the racing starts in real earnest, with about 8 or 9 kilometres to go, maybe about 25 minutes of hard running to come. You know this building, the Burj Al Arab, one of the most famous in the Middle East. Actually, one of the most famous in the world. Look at it, it's just gorgeous. Anyway, I'm at the 12-kilometre point now initially, because they've run to the south 6 kilometres, come back up here after a U-turn to 12k, and then they pass the Burj Al Arab for the first time. Head 7k up the road, due north, actually in a dead straight line, dead flat, perfect for a lovely rhythm for marathon runners. Do a U-turn at the far end, come 7k back to here. Now that 14k loop here is done again, they repeat it. So they pass the Burj Al Arab 4 times, and the 4th time they see it, it'll be a very welcome sight. Because all they've got to do now is go down here a few hundred metres to the south, turn left into Sakim Street and to the finish line. A very welcome sight that'll be for everybody. I think last year it was quite humid and a bit warm. This year it looks like it's going to be better conditions.
Yeah, it's a good 2 or 3 degrees cooler than last year, and certainly a lot less humid. I think it's about 30% less humid today, so the athletes will be really happy about that. It's actually forecast to drop in temperature slightly just before the sun rises, and then warm up again. So there's more current and going to provide a little bit more of a battle. I think there's a lot of young debutants coming through on the men's side that are hoping to break through and make their mark.
There are pacemakers, of course, from the men and women. There into the white vest centre of picture is Dennis Kimetto, former world record holder. He's 40 years old now as Kimetto, and he's here really more as a sort of honouring run. He hasn't run a competitive international quality race for quite a few years, even though he looks very, very fit. But in honour of his fame and past achievements, he's given number one.
Yeah. Number one, and I think pretty much the lone Kenyan aside from pacemakers in this race, and amongst all of the Ethiopians.
There's the elite women's field, and that is a very strong field indeed. Tigist Germa-Getachew is a 2:18 former. She's the fastest here with that time from Valencia a couple of years back. But as you mentioned, Dera Dida in very good form. Well, the officials doing a wonderful job. Big shout out for all the officials here as they get to the start line. It is 6 a.m. here in Dubai as we get this 24th edition underway. They're off then on the streets of Dubai. Sukim Street, they have about 600 meters here, dead straight down to the first turn where they take a left and then they run along the coast road with the sea on their right effectively and go dead straight for about 5.5 kilometers.
So let's have a look at what that looks like on this very cool map, 3D map. There is the start, and it is a very short run out to that first left turn, and then they head out at about 6k down to the first turnout point at the south here, and back towards the Medina here. They'll pass the Medina and go by the Burj Al Arab for the first time. You were standing there, Tim, and this will be the loop that they will run twice. That will be the halfway point coming up, and on this time around that will be about 34 kilometers, and they turn around, they will head back down this straight, and then there is just that one final left-hand turn up to this finishing straight and the welcome sight of a fast time awaiting.
Over 25 years of the Dubai Marathon nowadays, and personal confession, I've been to most of them, and we've had some of the most famous names in world athletics competing here. Haile Gebrselassie, multiple world record holder, multiple Olympic gold medalist, and his equally famous younger compatriot, Kenenisa Bekele. But over the last decade or so, the organisers have made a virtue of offering debutantes a chance to make a name for themselves. And no better example of how that has been a success is Tamirat Tola, who won the Olympic marathon in Paris, and Ruth Chepngetich, who a couple of months later, the Kenyan, won the Chicago Marathon in a new world record, taking it under 2 hours, 10 minutes.
They've been running for 14 minutes now. Here's that men's pack with the pacemakers pushing along out in front. Sila Kiptu and Felix Kipkoech are the two pacemakers, tasked with taking them out at 62 minutes for halfway. In fact, the 5k time has just come up 15:04 for the men. That is on the slow side.
It is. It means confirmation of the 5k by the fact that they've just picked up the drinks bottles, and that is the first of the elite athlete drink stations. They'll have them every 5 kilometres.
Now the leading women at 5k, 16:36. There it is, 16:36. And as I said, that is almost exactly on 2:20 tempo. This is the turnaround at 6k, so that's the southernmost point of the course. And this is the only time they negotiate that U-turn, the first of the race. So it's early in the morning, no sun up yet, but the temperatures, the conditions generally for this 24th edition of the Dubai Marathon are absolutely perfect. Here's that lead men's pack. Big pack too, what, about 15 strong, something like that. It's a big men's field, by the way. We know there's an elite field of some 22 elite athletes here, but they are beginning to tank along rather nicely.
You can certainly see that the pace has picked up, and that's why it's thinned out again a little bit.
Still looks very, very fit, Kimetto, 40 years old now. That world record he set back in 2014, 2:02:57. He was the first man ever to go under 2 hours and 3 minutes in the marathon.
They're picking up their 10k bottles now in their hands.
They've just gone through 10k, that leading men's pack, in 29:49. So after a 15:04 first 5k, that was very, very modest, shall we say. The second 5k, 14:45
for that 29.49 at 10k. So they're beginning to click along now at a much quicker tempo. At 10k, the women have gone through in 33.05. It is indeed 33.05.
There's an issue there. Who's that? Mulu didn't get her bottle, I think, at that, and she looks as though she's gesturing to be handed one. I'm not sure they can do that. You have to pick up your drinks bottle within the zone, and she has now gone past that 11th table. So, and you can definitely see from that shot the cadence has picked up a little bit. They're ticking along really well there, aren't they, in that group?
There you can see those splits: 15.03 for the first 5k and then 14.44 for the second 5k. Well, now the sky is beginning to brighten. The sun will be up soon. It's nearly quarter to seven local time in Dubai. This big men's pack, quite a contrast to the women's field, which is split into two separate packs, and there's 4 or 5 in the leading women's pack. This men's pack, probably 15 or 17 strong.
In that shot, you can see the two packs are starting to get closer to each other.
Well, the men have gone through 15k in 44.38. That third 5k, 14.49. So they've gone 15.03, 14.44, 14.49.
To pick up the bottle is not so hard, but to drink at pace, as these women are doing here, is more difficult, and it is something that you have to practice because you need to get that fuel into you.
Well, I have to say that Kiptu here doing a fantastic job as they've got over 51 minutes on the clock now. Sila Kiptu looking like every bit an experienced pacemaker, almost single file. I think he has picked it up maybe a little bit. They really are motoring now. I think I just sense that stride length has lengthened a little bit. There's a pick-up in the cadence, actually, how quickly the legs are turning over.
There is Richard Whitehead to the right, in the right-hand side picture there, preparing for his 81st marathon. He's trying to hit 100 over a 20-year career, and he's still trying to challenge his personal best, which I think is really impressive.
And they are going to go through halfway in something like 62 minutes, which was the target, but they've done it in a strange manner. I think the early 5k was on the slow side, and then it has gradually picked up. Now here's that U-turn, 58 minutes on the clock, so this is at about 19 kilometers. Nearly 1 hour on the clock then in the men's race, and appropriately this mass marathon gets underway exactly an hour after the elite athletes in the 24th edition of the Dubai Marathon. It is the 26 years since the first Dubai Marathon. There were no marathons here in Dubai in 2021 or 2022 because of the pandemic. Wonderful to see that so many people are enjoying a run out early on this Sunday morning.
On the women's race, it's still consistently that group, although it does look like Tahir towards the back is struggling to hold on, and for the first time Yima is slipping back down that field as well.
Well, Herpa, Bedatu Herpa, one of my favourites here, is tucked in there behind Welde, the debutant. The 5k splits, they went out in 15.03. The first 5k was misjudged, it was way too slow, but then the pacemakers dialed into the right tempo and they ran 14.44 for the second 5k, 14.48 for the third 5k, 14.32 for that fourth 5k. Now that is so fast, Paula, it almost makes me think, while the first 5k was much too slow, the fourth 5k is quite a lot too fast. That is really flying. They went through halfway, remember, the men in 62.23, so quick-ish, but only by dint of some very uneven splits. There they go. Is that the 25k match? Oh, juggling with a bottle, and it goes down there. Who was that trying to grab a bottle to the right of that group? Oh, he tried so hard. He was like, in fact, he was smiling, I think, because he was juggling with it. It was bouncing around on his hand. Right a picture, grabs a bottle, whoops, whoops, skip, bouncing around. Look at this, it's juggling. I mean, it's like a circus act. Oh, down it goes. That is so unlucky, so unlucky. Tried desperately, knocks over that one as well. Oh, he gets one eventually.
He did get one, but it's not his though, is it then? So he's taken one, somebody else has thrown it around, or taken his and thrown it around, then tried to pick it, then knocked someone else's down, and now has someone else's in his hand. As the sun comes up around the Jumeirah Beach Road, and these women will be just approaching the Jumeirah Hotel that the men just ran past a couple of seconds ago.
There it is, the leader of men. They're coming down towards the U-turn. down towards what is effectively the centre junction of the course at the southern end of this long 7k strip of road on Jumeirah Beach Road.
So here is Daneba Yima. She is the current 3rd place and has been that for a little while now, kind of stuck on her own, and our 1st and 2nd locked together again with the pacemaker back with them.
Dera Dida nearest the camera then. Bedatu Herpa. Here in this men's race, Paul, a very different affair. There's, 6 or 7 of them locked together. You could throw a blanket over them virtually, a big blanket. And, 1 or 2 of them beginning to look around and study each other's form. And I don't think anybody wants to be the sacrificial lamb. I don't think anybody wants to get their head down now with, probably 23, 24 minutes of running to go.
Still 7, I make it in there. Although it is now Tamru who's getting his drink, yes, but struggling to stay in contact with that lead group and starting to detach. Breaking up is normal as they go through the drink station. Some men get their bottles sooner, some will put in a little bit of a surge and try and catch people out as they go through that drink station, but it is Gemechu. And there is what we were talking about, just trying to experience running alongside those elite men, and the sheer pace that they are moving at is far more impressive when you see mere mortals moving alongside them and able to gauge off that. But it's certainly Gemechu who, in the green and red and white vest at the front, was the one who took advantage of that drink station. There he is to push on off the front and starting to really break up that group now behind Segu, trying to reel in Gemechu ahead of him. There is Bute Gemechu making his debut over the marathon distance. He's decimated that leading group, hasn't he? Shattered it into pretty much everybody running on their own in little detached groups. There might be a couple running together further back. But
lovely shot looking northwards there towards the downtown area, I suppose you could call it, of this massive city, Dubai. 3.5 million people.
Well, this is Yima
to the
and
right
that is Tigis Girma, and I think Tigis Girma has worked past Yima, who has been in 3rd on her own, isolated for a lot of the second half of this race, and now that is Tigis Girma moving into 3rd position and looking down the road ahead of her to see can she get back to Bedatu Hirpa and Deradida.
And now this leader, Gemechu, he can't widen that gap though, can he? It's still about 25 metres. Well, Jumeirah Beach Road stretches to the north as they negotiate this little dogleg here, and then they'll take the left into the finish straight, and that would be a very welcome sight for these fellas to Umsukum Street, which is the last few hundred metres.
Not too many metres in there, is
I was
there?
going to say, it's almost identical to the men's race, isn't it? About 20 metres between the leader and the chasing athlete. Herpa here has got a goal. Remember, the difference between 1st and 2nd, $80,000 and $40,000. Those 25 metres represent $40,000 at the moment in prize money differential.
So there, that gap
Gemechu
is slightly bigger, isn't it, I think?
Well, there's the times up 40k, 1:58.10 at 40k. His 39th kilometre was at 2:49. He's absolutely flying. He's managed these last few kilometres well, hasn't he?
He has.
I mean, from now on, with less than 2k to go, it's about race management. Just hang in there and keep it going. This will be the biggest win of his career by, well, many tens of thousands of dollars if he does take 1st place, and it will give him status on the world marathon scene. It'll make him a desirable commodity. Race directors will be wanting him, and I suspect, Paula, now with the shoes and protecting legs so much, he's got a chance of going for one of the big April marathons. He'll make the left-hand turn into Umsukim Street now, very shortly. There it is, the sweep into Umsukim, and the finish line will come into view.
There is 2nd place just coming around the bend behind him, Segu.
This young man in his marathon debut looking quite magnificent. Superb running from Gemechu here. Gemechu, head down, pumping hard with the arms, all the way to the line. Look at the clock, he's going to be inside 2:05. What a run from the debutant to win here in Dubai in 2025. In 2nd place, coming through strongly, is Segu. He too has also had a fabulous run. He's worked hard to maintain that second place. It's his debut as well.
And it's Tamru coming through in third, and he's not too far in the end off his personal best. And here is the leader in the women's race, Deradida, all on her own now. The pacemaker has stepped aside, and second place, Hiepa, just behind her. They have gone through 40 kilometers, and that is a 10-second gap between those two women.
Well, we had a winner, a debutant in the men's race. Here he is, Gemachu, the champion.
I'm running for a good time, but unfortunately, after 36 kilometers, the situation was changing, and I'm getting a winner. Happy for this situation.
There is confirmation of the first 10 in this 24th edition of the Dubai Marathon. Buta Gemachu, 2:04.50, a comfortable win, 24 seconds. The gap back to Berahanu Segu, his compatriot, 2:05.14 in second. And then Chifera Tamru, 2:05.28, another 14 seconds back in third.
In the women's race, Deradida still leading out there from the splits coming in on my screen. She is slowing, but so is Hiepa behind her, so that gap is maintaining.
Well, she looks strong, doesn't she? Still good stride length, slight forward lean there for her, but she's chasing hard, but the gap is 10 seconds to Deradida.
Deradida can see that clock ahead of her on that car. Her personal best, remember, stands at 2:19.24, so looking down the road ahead of her. Now Hiepa in that shot looks as though she's extremely close. Can she close any at all? What has she got left in this final straight?
Herpa is coming back at her though. Look at this, is she going to run out of road? Herpa sprinting for all she's worth here. But Datu Herpa, best of 2:21.09. She's guaranteed a personal best. Is she going to get the win as the legs go from under Dida? Dida, the head is back. I wonder if she's getting any warning, any information. Herpa knows that the line is coming, but she knows she can catch her great compatriot and great rival. And within sight of the finish line, within a few dozen yards of the finish line, but Datu Herpa gains the lead and takes the win surely now. 2:18 on the clock. Deradida, there's nothing the 28-year-old can do about it. She won here in 23. She was third here last year, but this year we have a new champion. But Datu Herpa, the 25-year-old, takes the title in Dubai, punches the air, newfound energy, with the adrenaline pumping through those veins, having taken the lead about 100 meters out. Third place, makes it onto the rostrum. Tigist Gurma in her first ever Dubai Marathon.
She said that she's been working very hard to win it, and she was very much confident that she would be winning today. She said that she was having a full confidence after the 35 kilometer, and she was trying to really to reach to the finish line, and she was so much confident about it that she would be really reaching to the first line. Yeah.
Here in Dubai in 2025, Deradida 2:18.31, caught in the last 100 meters, loses by 4 seconds. Tigist Gurma 2:20.45, good run in third place. The consolation for Deradida, way under 2:20 again here in this 24th edition of the Dubai Marathon.
Thank you, Dubai Marathon, once again for some really exciting racing that we've enjoyed watching and commentating on, and good luck to everybody out there still competing.
A superb day's racing here in Dubai. Bye-bye from us.
I'm from Mexico.
I'm from Zimbabwe.
I'm from Kuwait.
I'm from Ukraine.
From Mauritius.
我们从中国各个地方来，我们有浙江的，有福州的。
I'm here to join the Dubai Marathon.
But Datu Herpa, the 25-year-old, takes the title in Dubai, punches the air.
Run for better life, run for better earth.